Ethan Miller walked through the crowded halls of the interstellar junkyard, his boots echoing softly on the metal floors. The air was thick with the smell of burnt circuits and old fuel. Everywhere he looked, there were broken ships, discarded engines, and pieces of metal that once belonged to proud spacecraft. Most people ignored these relics, seeing only trash and danger. But Ethan saw something different. He saw stories hidden under dust and rust. Ethan was young, only 19, but he had a spark that most adults lacked. He loved machines more than anything. Even a simple engine could make him feel excitement. He had learned to fix things on Earth, starting with small droids, and then he had moved to starship engines. Now he traveled from station to station, finding old ships and trying to restore them. As he walked, a small data pad flickered on a table. A human vendor with a scratched face waved at him. "You interested in something useful, kid? Or just looking at old junk?" "I'm looking for something special," Ethan said, his eyes scanning the table. The vendor laughed. "Special? You won't find that here, just old ships no one wants. They're dangerous, broken, or dead. Take the one in the back, the gray one. Nobody remembers it. It's been drifting for centuries. Nobody cares about it." Ethan paused. His eyes followed the vendor's gesture. In the back of the yard, half hidden under a tarp, was a massive ship. It was gray and battered, with a layer of dust covering its surface. Most of the paint had faded and parts of it were scratched or dented. No name was visible. The ship looked dead. "Why is it here?" Ethan asked. "Old warship from the human fleet, ghost ship they call it. Nobody remembers it. No one wants it," the vendor said. "I'm selling it cheap if you dare." Cheap, that caught Ethan's attention. He had only a few credits, just enough to buy a small transport drone, but this ship, it felt different. Something inside him stirred, a feeling he could not explain. "I want it," he said before thinking twice. The vendor raised an eyebrow. "You sure, kid? That thing hasn't moved in hundreds of years. You'll need luck and maybe more than luck to make it work." "I'll take the chance," Ethan said, smiling. The purchase was simple. Ethan signed the papers with shaky hands, but his heart raced with excitement. Soon he would step aboard the ghost ship. For most people, it was just junk. For him, it was a puzzle, a challenge, and maybe even a friend waiting to wake up. The next day, Ethan arrived at the shipyard where the ghost ship was anchored. The massive vessel towered over the docking platforms. It looked almost like a skeleton of a starship, broken and forgotten. Yet, as Ethan approached, he noticed something strange. Tiny lights flickered in the ship's hull. He stopped and stared. "Clara, you seeing this?" he called into his communicator. Clara Dawson's voice came back, calm but curious. "I see it. That thing looks ancient, Ethan. Are you sure you want to go inside?" "I have to," he said. "Something about it, it feels alive," Clara sighed. "Just be careful. You know these old ships can be dangerous. No one remembers what's inside." Ethan nodded, though Clara could not see him. He climbed the boarding ladder and stepped onto the ship's surface. The metal was cold under his boots. He brushed off dust from the hatch and pushed it open. A faint hiss of air welcomed him. The ship was empty, or so it seemed. The inside smelled of old circuits and stale air. Pipes ran along the walls and wires hung from the ceiling like vines. Broken panels revealed glimpses of glowing energy cores. Ethan's eyes widened. There was still power inside. "Wow," he whispered. "You're not dead, are you?" He moved deeper into the ship, careful with every step. The corridors were long and dark, and the lights flickered as if the ship were breathing. He touched the walls, feeling the hum of hidden energy. Some parts were cold and lifeless, but others seemed to respond to his presence. He reached the main control room. Screens were covered in dust, buttons were stuck, and the captain's chair was cracked. Ethan wiped a panel, and suddenly a faint blue light blinked. A soft voice filled the room. "Hello," Ethan jumped back. He hadn't expected a voice. "Who's there?" "My name is Luma," the voice said. "I am the ship's AI. I have been dormant for centuries." Ethan's heart raced. A real AI alive and waiting. "Luma, are you awake?" "Yes," the AI replied. "Thank you for touching the control panel. I have waited for someone to return. Most humans have forgotten this ship." I don't know what to say," Ethan said. "Why me?" "Humans with curiosity, care, and courage often find me." "You have the qualities needed to restore this ship," Luma said. Ethan looked around. He felt a thrill he had never felt before. This ship was not just a wreck. It was a treasure full of secrets. He could fix it and maybe even discover its purpose. Over the next hours, Ethan explored more of the ship. Hidden rooms appeared, filled with old maps of star systems, weapons lockers, and storage compartments. He found a journal, written by someone named Captain Reynolds, who commanded the ship hundreds of years ago. The pages spoke of battles, lost colonies, and a mission to protect human settlements from alien threats. "This ship, it was important," Ethan murmured. "People forgot, but it was important." Clara arrived at the docking bay later that evening. She had watched from her small shuttle as Ethan moved through the corridors. "I don't know, Ethan. This is amazing, but also terrifying. The ship is huge, and we barely know what's working. Are you sure about this?" "I have to try," Ethan said. "Luma is alive. There is power in this ship. I can fix it. I can make it work again." Clara shook her head but smiled. She knew Ethan's determination. "Just promise me you'll be careful." Ethan nodded. "I will, and Clara, this ship could be more than anyone imagined. If I can fix it, we could uncover secrets lost for centuries. Maybe even protect people who don't even know they are in danger." That night, Ethan stayed aboard the ship, tinkering with engines, cleaning circuits, and exploring hidden rooms. Luma guided him, explaining systems long forgotten. The ship seemed to respond to Ethan's work, its lights glowing brighter, its engines humming with life. For the first time in centuries, the ghost ship was no longer forgotten. Someone remembered it, someone cared. And that someone was a human mechanic named Ethan Miller. As Ethan looked out of a cracked viewport at the distant stars, he felt a sense of purpose he had never known. The galaxy was vast, full of forgotten places and lost knowledge. And he had found a key, a ship that could change everything. In the distance, tiny blinking lights of alien patrols passed by, unaware of the awakening ghost ship. Ethan did not know what the future held, but he knew one thing: he had made a difference. The ship was alive again, and so was hope. He slept that night in the captain's chair, dreaming of the stars, the battles long past, and adventures yet to come. The ghost ship, silent for centuries, now had a heartbeat again. The galaxy had forgotten the ship. But one human mechanic had remembered. Ethan woke to the soft hum of the ship. The blue light from the main control panel filled the room, casting shadows along the walls. He stretched, feeling the excitement from the day before still running through him. This ship was not just a machine. It was alive in a way he could feel. "Good morning, Ethan," Luma said softly, her voice calm and gentle. "You slept well?" "I did," Ethan replied, rubbing his eyes. "And I think the ship did too. It feels different today." "Yes," Luma said. "Your work yesterday reactivated several systems. The engines are partially online, and the life support is stable. You have awakened something that has been sleeping for centuries." Ethan walked through the corridors, examining the panels and blinking lights. He found a room with crates of supplies, some broken, some still usable. Old tools, repair kits, and energy cells lay scattered. He carefully sorted through them, keeping what might help him repair the ship. "I need more parts," he said. "The engines, the shield system, they are too old. I can't fix everything with what I have." "I can help guide you," Luma said. "There are areas with hidden maintenance modules. I can unlock them if you agree to trust me." Ethan smiled. "I trust you, Luma." "Let's see what's inside." They moved to a hidden room under the main engine chamber. Luma projected a holographic map of the ship. "Here," she said, pointing with a glowing hand. "This is a maintenance bay. It contains spare components long forgotten. You may find what you need to repair the propulsion system and weapons." Ethan carefully opened the heavy door. Inside were boxes of old ship parts. Some were dusty, others had rust, but many were intact. Tiny drones floated in the air, inactive. Ethan activated one with a touch, and it hummed to life. "This is amazing," Ethan said. "These drones could help me clean, repair, and test the ship faster than I could alone." "You may need them," Luma said. "There is much work ahead. The ship has been neglected for centuries." Over the next hours, Ethan worked tirelessly. He cleaned the engines, fixed broken conduits, and tested circuits. The old ship groaned under his touch, as if waking from a deep sleep. Lights flickered along the corridors, screens blinked with messages long forgotten, and tiny sparks flew from repaired panels. Clara arrived in her small shuttle later that day. She landed carefully on the ship's platform, her eyes wide as she took in the ghost ship. "Ethan," she said, climbing out, "you've really done a lot. The ship looks alive. I didn't think this was possible." "It's not just me," Ethan said. "Luma helped. The ship responds to the repairs. I think it remembers humans." Clara frowned. "Remembers? How can a ship remember?" "Not in the way we do," Ethan explained. "But there's intelligence inside. Systems, AI, maybe even something like instincts. It's waiting for someone to wake it up." Clara looked around, examining the control panels and blinking lights. This is incredible, Ethan. But we need to be careful. This ship is huge and powerful. If the wrong people find out about it, it could be dangerous. Ethan nodded. I know, that's why I'm testing everything slowly. Engines first, then shields, then weapons. Luma says we need to learn the ship before we can use it properly. They worked together, testing small systems, running energy diagnostics, and organizing the supplies they found. Clara learned quickly, helping Ethan reroute circuits and repair broken panels. During a break, Ethan explored a small library room he had not seen before. The walls were lined with data pads, journals, and holographic projectors. He brushed dust off one pad and activated it. A hologram appeared, showing a human captain from long ago. Attention all human colonies, the hologram said. This ship, the Aurora Sentinel, carries the last defense of our people. If you find this message, know that we fought to protect humanity from the alien marauders who seek to destroy our colonies. We leave this ship hidden for the future, hoping it will serve again in the hands of those who remember courage. Ethan felt a chill. The ship had a name, the Aurora Sentinel, and it had a mission, one long forgotten. Clara, he said, calling her over. This ship, it was made to protect humans. That's why it has weapons, shields, and systems more advanced than anything we have today. Clara stared at the hologram, then at the ship. Then we need to make it work. We can't let it stay forgotten. If those aliens come back, we might be the only ones who can stop them. Ethan nodded, feeling a surge of responsibility. Exactly, and Luma can guide us. She knows everything about the ship, the weapons, even hidden areas we haven't found yet. Luma's voice interrupted gently. There is more you need to know. The ship's weapon systems are powerful, but they require careful calibration. The alien fleet that once threatened humans is rumored to be returning. If they find this ship first, it could be catastrophic. Ethan frowned. How do we prepare? We don't even know where they are. We will start by testing defenses, Luma said. I can run simulations. You and Clara will learn how to operate the ship in controlled scenarios. The more prepared you are, the safer the colonies will be. For the next several days, Ethan and Clara worked tirelessly. They tested shields, repaired the propulsion system, and ran simulations using the ship's AI. Luma taught them old human strategies, long forgotten by the current generations. Ethan was amazed at how smart the AI was. Not only could it operate the ship, but it could predict enemy movements, suggest tactics, and even repair itself when systems failed. During one test, Ethan activated a small weapon turret. A holographic target appeared in the simulator. He moved the controls slowly, lining up the shot. The turret fired, hitting the target perfectly. I can't believe it, Clara said. You actually did it. That was perfect. Ethan grinned. We're learning. The ship remembers how to fight. I just have to follow its lead. Luma added, the Aurora Sentinel was designed to be operated by humans. Its systems respond best to human touch, intuition, and creativity. That is why it waited for you. Days passed, and the ship grew more alive. The engines purred smoothly, the lights shone steadily, and the weapon systems responded instantly to commands. Ethan and Clara moved with confidence, knowing they were bringing the ghost ship back to life. One evening, as they rested in the captain's chair, Luma spoke quietly. There is a message hidden deeper in the ship. It was left by the last captain. It warns of a new threat. I can unlock it if you are ready. Ethan's eyes lit up. We have to see it. If the aliens are coming back, we need to know everything. Luma projected a holographic map of nearby star systems. A blinking red signal marked a cluster of stars. These are the coordinates of the alien armada, Luma said. They have been hiding for centuries. Intelligence suggests they are gathering forces to strike human colonies. Clara's face turned serious. Then we don't have much time. We need to prepare. The colonies won't survive an attack like that without help. Ethan clenched his fists. Then we'll give them a chance. Aurora Sentinel is alive again and we'll make sure it's ready. Luma, show us everything. Teach us everything. We'll fight if we have to. Over the next week, they explored every hidden corridor and secret chamber. They found old medical bays, storage rooms with ancient supplies, and even a hidden hangar with small fighter ships. Ethan learned to operate every system, sometimes relying on Luma's guidance, sometimes following his own instincts. The ship's AI seemed to recognize his determination. Lights glowed brighter as he passed, and panels unlocked themselves as if inviting him to continue. The ghost ship was no longer forgotten. It was alive, powerful, and ready to serve again. One night, Ethan looked out of the viewport at the stars. "Clara," he said softly, "we're not just fixing a ship, we're bringing back a part of humanity's past. This ship fought for humans once, and now it will again. We have a responsibility." Clara nodded. "And we'll do it together. If the aliens come back, they won't expect this. They'll see that humans never give up, even when they are forgotten." Ethan smiled. "Exactly. And we have Luma. She'll help us every step of the way." As they rested, the ship hummed softly, almost like a living heartbeat. Ethan could feel it beneath his hands. The ghost ship had awakened, and with it, a new hope for humanity. Unknown to them, far away in a dark corner of space, alien scouts had detected faint energy readings. They dismissed them at first, thinking it was a simple anomaly. But the signal was growing stronger, brighter. Something was alive again, something humans had forgotten. The game was beginning. Ethan and Clara were ready. The Aurora Sentinel had returned. Ethan Miller stood in the main control room of the Aurora Sentinel, staring at the holographic map Luma projected in front of him. Red dots blinked far across the stars, alien ships moving in formation, slowly approaching human colonies. "They're coming," Ethan said, his voice tight. "They've been hiding all these years, and now they're back." Clara Dawson leaned over the map, her brow furrowed. "Do we know how many there are?" Luma's calm voice filled the room. "Sensors are limited, but the Armada is larger than any human fleet in recorded history. They are cautious, but they are moving toward the colonies with a clear objective." Ethan clenched his fists. "Then we need to prepare. Aurora Sentinel isn't fully armed yet, but we can still make a difference." Clara placed a hand on his shoulder. "You've never fought a battle like this before. Are you sure we can handle it?" "We have to," Ethan said. "We're the only ones who know this ship exists, and I'm not going to let people die because everyone else forgot." They spent the next several hours running final checks. Ethan activated the engines fully, feeling the powerful hum vibrate through the ship. The shields came online with a soft glow, and the weapon systems responded instantly to his touch. The drones from the maintenance bay buzzed around, ready to repair or assist if anything went wrong. "This is it," Ethan said. "If they attack a colony, we'll be ready." The first encounter came sooner than they expected. A small fleet of alien fighters emerged from a nearby asteroid field, heading straight for a human mining station. Ethan felt his heart race. This was their first test. "Clara, I need you on navigation and targeting," he said. "We'll see if we can stop them before they reach the station." Clara nodded, taking her position at the secondary console. Luma guided them through the systems, explaining hidden firing patterns and evasive maneuvers that the aliens might not expect. As the alien ships approached, Ethan took a deep breath. "Engage weapons. Let's see what Aurora Sentinel can do." The turrets activated, spinning and aligning with the enemy ships. Ethan fired the first shot. A bright energy beam shot through space, hitting one of the alien fighters and sending it spinning. Clara gasped. "It works," she said. "You're actually hitting them." The aliens tried to surround the ship, but Luma anticipated their moves. "They will approach from the left," she said. "Prepare the side shields and angle the weapons." Ethan and Clara followed the instructions. The ship moved like it had a mind of its own. It dodged attacks, fired at targets, and protected the human station in the center of the battle zone. The alien fighters, confident at first, started to retreat as more beams from Aurora Sentinel struck them with precision. After the last fighter was destroyed, Ethan let out a long breath. "We did it. The station is safe." Clara smiled, her hands trembling slightly from excitement. "You actually did it. The ship, it's amazing. I can't believe we're flying this." Ethan leaned back in the captain's chair. "We're just getting started. Luma, can you trace the Armada? Can we see where they are gathering?" "Yes," Luma said. "I can, but it will require traveling closer to their fleet. There is risk. They may detect us." Ethan nodded. "We have to take the risk. If we know where they are, we can prepare. We can warn the colonies." The next day, they set off toward the coordinates Luma identified. The journey was tense. Ethan piloted carefully, avoiding asteroid fields and debris while keeping the ship's engines at optimal power. Clara monitored the sensors, warning him of small alien scouts. Suddenly, a warning alarm blared. "Scouts detected," Luma said. "3 ships approaching from the rear." "They are small but fast and aggressive." Ethan took a deep breath. "Let's see if they can keep up." The alien scouts fired first, sending beams toward the ship. Ethan quickly maneuvered, dodging their shots while returning fire. The turrets spun, tracking the enemy with deadly accuracy. Clara shouted, "Two of them are down!" Ethan focused on the last scout, weaving through space debris to avoid its fire. He fired the final beam, and the alien ship exploded in a flash of light. "That's 3 in a row," Ethan said. "We're getting better." Luma's voice was calm. "This is only a small part of their fleet. The main armada is still gathering. I suggest caution." Ethan nodded. "We'll move carefully, but we need to know their numbers. We need to see their plan." As they approached the armada, they saw hundreds of alien ships moving in formation. The sheer size of the fleet made Ethan's stomach tighten. He had never seen anything like it. The aliens were preparing for a major attack on human colonies. "They're planning something big," Clara said. "We need to warn everyone, but how? We can't fly back that fast without being detected." Ethan thought for a moment. "We'll use stealth. The Aurora Sentinel has old cloaking tech. Luma, can we activate it?" "Yes," Luma said. "But it will strain the power systems. We must move carefully to avoid overheating." Ethan activated the cloak. The ship shimmered and then disappeared from sensors. They moved closer to the alien fleet, observing their formation and movements. Ethan studied their patterns, noting weaknesses and gaps that could be exploited. "This is it," he said. "We now know how they move. We can warn the colonies and prepare defenses." Suddenly, a small group of alien ships broke formation and headed toward the Aurora Sentinel. They had detected something unusual. Ethan's heart raced. "Luma, we need evasive maneuvers," he shouted. The ship responded instantly. It twisted and turned, dodging incoming fire while returning shots. Clara managed the weapons, firing at the alien ships with precision. After a tense few minutes, the alien ships retreated. Ethan exhaled heavily. "That was too close, but we made it, and we learned something important. They will attack if they detect us." Clara nodded. "Then we need to be smarter than they are. We need traps, ambushes, anything to give us an advantage." Ethan smiled. "Exactly. The Aurora Sentinel isn't just powerful, it's smart, and so are we. Humans are always smarter when it counts." They spent the next few days preparing. Ethan upgraded the weapon systems, using parts from the maintenance bay. Clara helped with shields and navigation, while Luma simulated battles to predict enemy moves. Each simulation taught them something new. Then came the first major test. An alien fleet approached a human colony in a dense star system. Ethan and Clara positioned the Aurora Sentinel in a hidden spot near an asteroid field, waiting for the aliens to pass. "Ready?" Ethan asked. Clara nodded. "Let us show them what humans can do." As the alien ships entered the asteroid field, Ethan activated the hidden turrets and launched drones. The drones moved silently, setting traps and confusing the alien pilots. When the aliens realized what was happening, it was too late. Beams from the Aurora Sentinel struck from hidden angles, taking down several ships. The battle was intense. Aliens fired back, but Ethan's maneuvers and the ship systems kept them safe. Clara coordinated every shot, and Luma guided them through each move. The human colony watched in awe as a single ship held off a fleet much larger than itself. After hours of fighting, the alien ships retreated. The colony was safe, and humans cheered from the surface. Ethan sat back in the captain's chair, exhausted but proud. "We did it," he said. "Aurora Sentinel made a difference. Humans are alive today because we remembered this ship." Clara smiled. "And because you had courage, Ethan. One human mechanic remembered, and now we've changed the fight." Luma's voice echoed softly. "The ship is ready for more. The armada is larger than we expected. We must remain vigilant, but humans have proven they are capable of extraordinary feats." Ethan looked out of the viewport at the stars. He knew the battle was far from over. The alien armada was still gathering, still planning. But for the first time, humans had hope. One human, one mechanic had awakened the ghost ship, and now that ship would fight for humanity. The threat had returned. But so had the Aurora Sentinel, and so had the courage of those who would defend the human colonies. Ethan clenched his fists and whispered, "We're ready. We'll show them what humans can do." The Aurora Sentinel hummed softly, as if agreeing. The ghost ship was no longer forgotten. It was alive, powerful, and ready for the war to come. Ethan Miller stood at the command center of the Aurora Sentinel, looking out at the stars. The alien armada had grown larger than ever. Red blips dotted the holographic map, stretching across entire systems. Every colony in the region could be attacked within hours. Clara Dawson stood beside him, her face pale but determined. "Ethan, it's bigger than we thought. We can't fight them all directly." They'll overwhelm us. Ethan clenched his fists. We don't have to fight all of them. We only need to fight smart. Luma, what do you suggest? The AI's calm voice responded. Direct combat against the full armada is not advised. However, there are weaknesses in their formation. Asteroid fields, gravity wells, and narrow corridors can be used as traps. We can force them into disadvantageous positions. Ethan nodded. Then we use strategy. Humans have always been good at thinking when the odds are against them. Clara looked nervous. You mean like a trap? They'll have more ships, more firepower. This is dangerous. Ethan smiled faintly. Dangerous is what humans do best. Trust me. They set off toward a nearby star system where the aliens were gathering. Ethan piloted carefully, keeping the Aurora Sentinel cloaked as Luma projected a simulation of enemy movements. The ship glided through space, its engines humming with renewed life. As they approached the asteroid field, Ethan's hands moved over the controls. Clara, we need perfect timing. I'll lead them in and you control the weapons. Luma, help me guide the ship through. The first alien scouts detected them and fired. Ethan dodged the beams, twisting the massive ship between asteroids. Clara aimed the turrets, firing with precision as beams struck the enemy ships. The drones moved silently, sabotaging alien engines when possible. Two down, Clara said, excitement mixed with fear. Ethan smiled, though tension ran through him. Good, keep moving. The main fleet is behind them. The alien armada entered the asteroid field, unaware of the dangers. Ethan guided the Aurora Sentinel along hidden paths. Luma's calculations helped avoid collisions while setting up ambush points. The ship fired from concealed positions and the alien ships began to lose formation. They're panicking, Clara said. Their numbers mean nothing if they can't move together. Exactly, Ethan replied. Humans fight smarter, not just harder. As the battle intensified, one alien cruiser broke through and headed straight for a nearby human colony. Ethan felt a surge of urgency. We can't let it reach the colony, Luma responded immediately. Ethan, we can use the hidden gravitic traps in this region. They will slow the cruiser and make it vulnerable to our attacks. Do it, Ethan said. The Aurora Sentinel released small energy pulses into the asteroid field. Gravity distortions caused the alien cruiser to slow and drift into a narrow pass. Ethan fired the heavy beams from hidden turrets. The cruiser exploded in a bright flash, debris scattering through space. Clara gasped. We actually did it. The colony is safe. Ethan's heart raced. One down, the rest are next. The alien fleet began to retreat, but Ethan knew this was only the beginning. They would regroup and attack again. But for now, the Aurora Sentinel had proven that humans could fight back. Over the next several days, Ethan and Clara coordinated with nearby colonies. Using the ship's advanced communication systems, they warned settlements of incoming attacks and gave tactical advice. Small human ships joined the effort, guided by the Aurora Sentinel's strategy. Each time the aliens attacked, Ethan used clever maneuvers. They hid behind asteroid fields, used the ship's cloaking system, and set traps that forced the aliens into narrow paths. The fleet, despite being larger, suffered heavy losses. During a brief pause between attacks, Clara turned to Ethan. I can't believe it. You're doing it. The colonies are surviving because of you and this ship. It's incredible. Ethan shook his head. It's not just me. Luma helped, the ship helped, and humans helped. The Aurora Sentinel is a symbol, Clara. One human remembered it, and now it's showing what we're capable of. Luma spoke softly. Humans have always shown courage when all hope seemed lost. The ship simply needed someone to guide it. Ethan nodded, feeling the weight of responsibility. And I'll guide it as long as I can. We can't let anyone forget humanity's strength. The final battle came when the alien armada gathered for a major strike on the largest human colony in the sector. Hundreds of ships filled space, forming a blockade around the system. Ethan studied their formation. He knew direct combat would be suicide. They needed a plan. Clara will use the asteroid field again, Ethan said. We'll lead them in, and this time we'll trap their entire fleet. Clara nodded. Are you sure we can do it? The numbers are huge. Ethan smiled. We have something they don't, human creativity. The Aurora Sentinel moved into the asteroid field, cloaked. The alien fleet followed, confident that humans were cornered. But Ethan's plan was precise. He led the armada through narrow passages, hidden mines, and gravitic distortions. The alien ships crashed into asteroids, collided with each other, and became disorganized. Now, Clara, Ethan shouted. Clara fired the turrets from hidden positions. Energy beams struck alien ships at close range, taking out cruisers and fighters alike. Drones sabotaged engines and shields, causing chaos. The Armada tried to regroup, but Ethan anticipated every move. "This is incredible," Clara said, her voice trembling. "They're falling apart." Ethan focused on the largest alien battleship. It had been the fleet's command ship. He maneuvered the Aurora Sentinel carefully, hiding behind an asteroid. Luma guided him. "Fire the main cannon when aligned," Luma instructed. Ethan aimed and fired. A massive beam shot forward, striking the battleship's core. Explosions tore through the ship, sending debris in all directions. The alien fleet's coordination collapsed. The remaining ships retreated into deep space. The human colony was safe. Humans cheered, celebrating their survival. The Aurora Sentinel floated among the stars, its engines glowing, its lights bright. Ethan leaned back in the captain's chair, exhausted but triumphant. "We did it! The colonies are safe!" Clara smiled. "And you did it, Ethan. You brought this ship back to life and showed what humans can do." Luma spoke, calm and proud. "The Aurora Sentinel has fulfilled its mission. Humans have remembered courage, strategy, and perseverance. This ship will now be remembered as a symbol of hope." Ethan looked out at the stars. "It's not just the ship, it's humanity. We never give up even when everyone forgets. We find a way to survive, to protect, to fight back." For the first time, Ethan felt the full weight of what he had accomplished. A forgotten ghost ship had become a beacon of hope. One human mechanic, with courage, intelligence, and determination, had changed the course of events for an entire sector. Weeks later, colonies rebuilt, and humans began to speak of the Aurora Sentinel. Stories spread about the young mechanic who revived a lost warship and led humanity to victory against overwhelming odds. Children looked up to Ethan and Clara, dreaming of courage, curiosity, and daring adventures in the stars. Ethan and Clara continued to explore forgotten ships and lost technology, guided by Luma. They traveled to distant systems, seeking relics of human history and preparing for any future threats. Every ship they restored, every discovery they made, reminded humans of their strength and ingenuity. One evening, as Ethan watched the stars from the Aurora Sentinel's bridge, he spoke softly. "Clara, remember when I bought this ship thinking it was worthless?" Clara smiled. "Yes, and now it saved countless lives. You made a difference." Ethan nodded. "Not just me, the ship, Luma, humans, we all worked together, but it started with remembering. No one remembered this ship until one human mechanic made the difference." The Aurora Sentinel hummed softly, as if agreeing. Its lights glowed brighter against the dark space. The ghost ship was no longer forgotten. It had a purpose, a legacy, and a story that would inspire humans for generations. In the vast galaxy, humans had proven that even when forgotten, they could rise, adapt, and protect what they loved. One ship, one mechanic, and a spark of courage had changed the fate of many. Ethan smiled, feeling hope fill him. "The galaxy won't forget humans again. Not while we're around." The Aurora Sentinel drifted forward, its engines glowing. The stars stretched endlessly ahead, full of mysteries, adventures, and challenges. But humanity was ready. Humans remembered, they fought, they survived. And in the heart of a once-forgotten ship, a human mechanic's courage lived on, guiding the future of the galaxy. No one remembered the ghost ship, until one human mechanic made the difference.